The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And tracking some snow yet again. 2 days ago we got hit, and now we're going to get hit again.
Yeah, and today's conditions are a little different than we had 2 days ago, and I want to emphasize the difference here. Let's take a look at why we have today as an alert day. So, on Tuesday, we saw steady snow all day long. It was light to moderate. Whenever we have snowfall here locally, we don't like to put alert days. We get snow here in central New York. We reserve alert days for when visibility gets reduced from heavy snow. That's when travel really becomes tricky. And regardless of how good you are driving in snow, if you can't see the road ahead of you, that's a concern. So today's issue is not so much the amount of snow, it's the rate of snowfall taking place in a short amount of time. Quick bursts of heavy snow, rapidly deteriorating road conditions with whiteouts possible and some gusty winds. In fact, we can see it taking place right now on the Yorkville Battery Live radar. Some light snow showers here locally. We zoom out. Heavy snow taking place in southern Jefferson County, northern tip of Oswego County, and right there in the northern section of Lewis County, as well as another band out in western New York. Let's zoom in right here. You can see some heavy snow north of Lowellville, heading along Route 12 and 26. To the west, same story. Some of that heavy snow coming off of Lake Erie. Temperatures right now are staying in the 20s initially. We're going to be cooling down, though, quickly into the teens, single digits, and likely below zero tonight. We're going to dive into that Arctic blast and the timing of these snow squalls coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A state comptroller report shows central New York.
Welcome back, everybody, to News Channel 2 at sunrise. Time now is going on 5:12, and here's what you can expect in your today in your forecast in a minute. First off, we take a look at the current conditions right now. 33 chilly degrees out there. Feels like 25 with a southwest wind of 10 miles an hour. Sunrise 7:19, sunset around 7:30. This will be likely one of the shortest days of the year, looking ahead to the winter solstice again. We'll dive into the sunrise and sunset times once the weather gets a little bit less active. But look at the roadways this morning, mainly quiet, but that will change rapidly depending on where you are. You see this snow squall right here? Well, it's currently aided by lake effect. As it pushes its way south, the lake effect gets cut off and it begins to weaken, but not before still pushing through the area, producing sudden whiteout conditions. Now, northwest of us, you can see here, it'll produce less intense snowfall as it continues its way south. We have another round of snow that arrives between 12 and 3 p.m., a sudden squall. Following that, things begin to dry out, but it cools down rapidly into the teens and single digits, even below zero tonight. Another dry day tomorrow, so weather impacts mainly for today. But again, we're going to take a look at the snowfall totals, the timing, all that coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
We need to be weather aware today.
Weather aware. Stay tuned.
Eric, thanks. The holiday season was officially ushered in New York City last night with the lighting of the tree.
Omni, we've got your back. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, I believe I'm losing track of my days here. It's getting already quite a week we've had here. But either way, on this Thursday, it's going to be a bit unsettled depending on location. Let's dive into that bigger picture here. So far, we have a cold front moving in from the northwest. This is going to usher in the potential for a few brief snow squalls, which could produce sudden whiteout conditions. As this Arctic front moves its way south and east, a polar plunge of temperatures takes place heading into tonight. But for now, a live look at downtown Utica. It is a quiet morning, a light dusting of snow on your car this morning, if that. Very light snow early today from here. But you look here to the northwest, That's what we're tracking right now. Heavy snow taking place north and west of the Mohawk Valley, expected to sweep south over the next few hours. So how much snow are we thinking? Well, you can see here the general idea is it's not a whole lot. Some lingering snow in the dark blue area south later today, but for the most part expect 1 to 3 inches. So if it's an alert day, it's not amounts, it's again the conditions inside these snow bands that are what make it an alert day. So timing this out here, this is 6 a.m. this morning. You can see it impacting mainly northwestern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County. That snow band is going to sweep its way into Utica between roughly 8 and 8:30. It continues to weaken. We're not expecting this to be strong the entire time as that lake enhancement gets cut off. We then have a few more chances for a few brief squalls in the late morning, but more importantly, this band right here. Now, the model here has it weakening a little bit, but this is the one we've been monitoring for the most part over the last day or so. This band arrives between 12 and 3, give or take an hour or so. I would say more closer to 1 to 2. But either way, once this passes over us, that band will sweep south, lingering lake effect southwest of Utica, and then the temperatures drop quickly. Overnight lows near record cold for the day today, and on top of that, wind chills plunging into potentially negative 23 degrees in parts of the area. So you're going to want to bundle up heading out the door Friday morning with these Arctic temperatures. So your 7-day forecast, again, an alert day is in effect today for that potential for snow squalls. Friday, a bit different. It's relatively quiet. Use peaks of sunshine too. Saturday, so we got some minor lake effect. This doesn't really appear to be that impactful. And then we do warm up into the upper 30s at that point, and then cooling back down into the teens again by Monday next week. So December looking pretty cold, and as James mentioned previously, that we might be having some ice fishing soon with how cold it's been.
Wow, that's early, huh?
I know, right? Or even early ice fishing season, who knows?
Yeah, Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:21. Morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Get ready for some more snow today, but not too much. Eric, despite that, you have labeled this an alert day, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's not so much the amount of snow, it's the amount of snow falling at one time, with some whiteout conditions possible. So let's take a look right here at why it's an alert day here. So we have an Arctic front that will produce potential for a few snow squalls today. We'll dive into the timing here momentarily. Quick bursts of heavy snow, or what are officially labeled as snow squalls, which could produce rapidly deteriorating road conditions. So that arrives with some gusty winds and sudden whiteout conditions early today. In fact, we can start to see it up to the north. Right now, live look at the radar. It's dry here locally, but let's look up to the north. We have this band right here. That's our first squall we are watching. In fact, we'll zoom in here once more. It's in southern Jefferson, northern Oswego County now, and much of Lewis County as it extends down toward northern Oneida County by 6 a.m. And then it will continue its way south and weaken as we progress through 8 o'clock this morning. By the way, there's even more snow out in western New York, too. This is a pretty widespread early morning event. But as you progress throughout the morning into the early afternoon, the snowfall will be a bit less widespread. But either way, there's going to be sudden whiteouts either way. So next 12 hours, we have temperatures officially in the 30s. Wind chills are going to drop quickly down into the teens. Even in fact, wind chills in the single digits by tonight. And then we're going to dive into that polar plunge overnight and early tomorrow morning, as well as look at a deep dive of the arrival of that snowfall today coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared information marked.
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise here on this Thursday morning. Before I get to that photo of the day, you might notice the studio looking a little bit more celebrated this morning. We have a lot more toys already getting submitted. Again, Stuff the Studio, part of the Stuff the Bus campaign. The goal every year, just stuff the studio and the bus with as many toys as we can for those kids in need. And your job right now is to bury me in toys. So see if you guys can do that again this year. Now, unfortunately, of course, the season a bit short due to the Thanksgiving being late in November. But either way, we still have plenty of time to really stuff the studio here. Photo of the day takes us to Mohawk and a view of the full cold supermoon, which is taking place tonight, but still a great view of a spooky scene yesterday. In fact, out my window last night, I was able to see the faded moon out in the distance behind some of those clouds. Either way, amazing photo by Mark Minter. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Mail carriers are working over
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Today we're tracking a few snow squalls that could impact travel both in the morning and in the afternoon. Let's dive into first what we're seeing here in the bigger picture. So there's that cold front to the northwest. It's going to move its way through the area and sweep through it a few bands of some heavy snow. Now, these bands won't last too long, but in the meantime, once these squalls push through, there is sudden whiteout possibilities inside them. Downtown Utica, well, looking pretty quiet so far early this morning. No squalls in Utica yet. If we look at the radar, things looking a little differently. We first take a look right here. The radar scans, it's slowly approaching northern Oneida County. It is just north of Boonville, maybe closer to, say, West Leiden or even Leiden up there, north of Old Forge. But that band's going to sweep south quickly, and then by around 6 a.m. hit northern Oneida County, and then by 8 a.m. onwards hit Utica and areas farther south as that band continues to weaken. So, despite the heavy snow inside these bands, we're not expecting a whole lot of snow. So the snowfall totals are not the concern here. The concern are these sudden whiteout conditions. So on our Skycast, as I mentioned, this is what the snow band will look like at 6 a.m. By 8 a.m., it's going to move its way farther south and east, just around the Utica area. And then as it moves its way south, it will continue to weaken. We have a few more pockets of heavy snow here and there, again, lasting maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then, following that, the band we're closely watching happens between 12 and 3, probably more accurately between 1 and 2, but there's some wiggle room because sometimes these like to fire up quicker than expected. So, during that time frame, there could be sudden whiteouts, and then following that, that snow band pushes south, and it mainly impacts areas southwest of Utica, near Syracuse, where that 3 to 6 inch range I showed you previously was. Then we begin to dry up and it cools down quickly. We are below zero tonight. Wind chills likely double digits below zero. So you're going to want to make sure you have some extra layers heading out Friday morning because it is going to be bitterly cold. Your 7-day forecast following the alert day today. Tomorrow it's mostly quiet, highs barely even reaching the 20s. Those wind chills remaining on the very frigid side. Saturday, some minor lake effect, really nothing that impactful. Sunday high at 28, then we're back down into the teens again on Monday. A very cool early start to December, Gary. Who thought that after how warm and dry it was in summertime that we'd be getting an Arctic blast and a lot of snowfall so far. So here we are.
We deserve it.
Yes, it's been a complete 180.
Yeah, after that summer we had.
Yeah.
Wow. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:54. Still
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And as you get ready to head out the door this morning, depends on what time you leave, whether you'll see snow or not.
Yeah, that's right. And the snowfall going to be a bit more intense in some spots. Not an all-day long event, but always going to make sure you're weather aware. And that's why today is an alert day. So to break down the difference, if you're wondering, why was Tuesday not an alert day? Well, Tuesday we saw steady snow, something that we see pretty frequently here in central New York. But we make it an alert day when the visibility gets reduced. Now, listen, you can drive in snow carefully, that's no big deal. But when you can't see in front of you, that's a different story. And this is due to some snow squalls arriving today that could produce quick bursts of heavy snow with rapidly deteriorating whiteout conditions, along with some gusty winds. In fact, look at the radar right now. We're seeing that first band approaching currently in Lewis County. It's slamming Tug Hill in northern Oswego County right now. We zoom out. This is part of, again, that much larger setup here of those heavy snow bands. And this is expected to move its way south and east over the next few hours. Let's zoom in here. It's currently going to be arriving in the northwest portion of Oneida County, maybe in the next half hour or so. And it's going to slowly push its way into Utica around 8 o'clock. Then we have another band of snowfall out there. This is not expected to hit us right now. This is mainly staying to our south. But either way, temperatures this morning, or at least wind chills in the 20s and low 30s. But tonight, we're going to see a much different story. Wind chills diving into the negatives. We'll talk about that polar plunge, as well as break down the timing in a lot more detail of that snowfall today, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A state comptroller report shows central New York is seeing more frequent and more costly storms than in years past. This includes tornadoes and heavy snowstorms. Oneida County alone ranks 9th in the state for weather damage, with more than 1,300 events recorded between 1996 to 2024. The report highlights the need for stronger protections. The report also points out the high cost of recovery. And State Senator Joe Griffo says the state must take action before another disaster strikes.
This is a priority that we should be looking at. And I know we could find the resources and the revenue. And we could either reprioritize what we're already doing to reallocate, or if we have to redirect, we could do that, or take it even out of reserve if we needed to.
The bill has been introduced in both the Senate and Assembly and is currently in committee. Lawmakers say it would provide critical support for communities after severe weather hits. Local firefighters rescued a puppy.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Time now 6:12 on this Thursday morning, and we are tracking a few snow squalls. We'll have a look at the timing and all you need to know as you head out the door. Your forecast in a minute. First off, we take a look at the current conditions. 33 degrees, feels like 25 with that southwest wind of 10 miles an hour. Roadways right now looking dry, but those of you up in the Boonville, Camden area, keep your eyes to the sky to the north. That's that snow band. That heavy snow is already starting to form. In fact, it's right on your doorstep for those of you in Boonville, right along the border of Lewis County right now. Heavier snow trying to form south of that, in fact, hitting Camden as we speak. And then some lighter snow to our south and west. But we can see the brunt of this system moving its way south and east, weakening over the next few hours, but still packing a punch for those of you in northwestern Oneida County. So travel impacts, squall weekends this morning. There's a potential for another sudden squall this afternoon between 12 and 3. This evening it dries up and then it remains very cold but dry heading into tomorrow. So again, we have a look at those impacts and a lot more detail coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The holiday season was officially ushered.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. We are tracking some snowfall today, but unlike what we saw on Tuesday, this is not a steady all-day-long event. We have some sudden whiteout conditions that are a possibility. Let's take a look right here at the bigger picture. An Arctic front is moving in from the northwest. You can see it pictured right here. As that band moves its way south and east, it's going to fire up a few heavy snow showers, which you were already seeing on the radar moments ago. In fact, let's take a look at the radar right now here in a second. Downtown Utica, roadways again looking relatively quiet for now, but look to our north and west. Look at all that heavy snow falling in Oswego County and Lewis County right now as it continues to move its way south and east. So it's currently going to be impacting Boonville and Camden within the next 15 or so minutes. Following that, it's going to continue to push its way south into the Mohawk Valley around 8 to 9 a.m. today. So when it comes to snowfall totals, not a whole lot. Again, this is the snowfall amount, not the reason why it's an alert day. It's the sudden whiteout conditions that prove a potential impact to travel. And so let's time it out here. This is 6 a.m. this morning. You can see that snow band mainly to our north. By 8 a.m., it's going to be moving into the Mohawk Valley, mainly in central Oneida County right there, eventually through the Mohawk Valley between 8 and 9 to 10 o'clock. A few spotty, heavy snow showers working their way through in the late morning. And then more importantly, what happens is this final wave of energy right there. There's that notable snow squall we're tracking here, arriving between 12 and 3. Probably more accurately between 1 and 2 o'clock, is going to produce, again, sudden whiteout conditions. So just make sure you're weather aware today and realize that if you see sunshine out, just expect the possibility of brief whiteout conditions in a snap of a finger. Following that snow today, it begins to dry up, lake effect to our southwest, and then eventually we cool down quickly. Below zero, near record-setting low temperatures today, and then frigid. In fact, I would say Arctic wind chills. 20 degrees below zero in some spots. You're going to want to bundle up tomorrow as you head out to work or head out to the school bus. So your 7-day forecast, alert day today for that snow squall potential. Tomorrow, it's dry, temperatures in the 20s, low 30s on Saturday, upper 20s on Sunday, and then we cool down again by Monday, high of 17. So definitely not one of those milder winters we were used to. It's already coming in like a lion. So it's pretty cold temperatures, already double-digit snowfall amounts above our average. So this winter, definitely already one to remember.
Be aware today of those whiteout conditions. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Get ready for some more snow today, but not too much. But Eric, as you were mentioning, when it does come down, it's going to be intense.
Yeah, that's right, and that's why it's an alert day. Not so much the amount of snow, but the rate of that snowfall, Gary. Let's take a look at the alert day information here, what you can expect this morning and pretty much throughout the entire day. We have an Arctic front moving in. That's going to produce the potential for a few sudden snow squalls, which are rapidly deteriorating conditions inside some heavy snow bands. And this will produce possible whiteouts and some stronger wind gusts. So that's what we're tracking today. In fact, we can see it already forming on the live radar in Oswego and Lewis counties right now. In fact, a single narrow part of it right here in northern Oneida County, but that brunt of that system is going to move its way south, again, progressing over the next half hour or so. It's moving a bit slower than expected, which, again, proves the variability with some of these systems here. We zoom out. Again, we got this much larger process here of some snow bands as, again, that Arctic front moved its way eastward. And you can see, even zoomed in right here, all that heavy snow continuing to push its way south and east. The lake effect off of Lake Erie also starting to weaken out west. Temperatures in the 20s, or at least wind chills in the 20s this morning, but it'll be a much different story tonight. We're going to have those temperatures on paper fall into the single digits, in fact below zero, and wind chills likely double digits below zero. We'll talk about that, plus again, hour-by-hour forecast of this snowfall today and coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us to a scene of the night sky in Mohawk of the full cold supermoon, which takes place tonight, by the way, but usually day before, day after. It technically looks like a full moon, so I still call it that. Either way, this is sent in by Mark Minter of quite a spooky scene there. I feel like every time there's in the late fall, early winter, you have those trees, the silhouette, the clouds, and of course the full moon in the distance. Amazing photo right there. A lot of great moon submissions. You can check all of them out at wktv.com/weather/pics, or even submit your own. Either way, amazing photo right here. Shout out to those of you watching from Mohawk this morning. Today, well, on top of a nice photo we got, we also are looking at some impactful snow squalls today. We'll have a look at the timing, when they arrive, how much snow we could see, and when the impacts will end from this system coming up in a few minutes, plus a major cool down that's on the way as we look ahead to tonight as well as tomorrow. A lot of changing weather conditions and some, of course, impactful weather looking ahead to the next few days. Gary.
Eric, thank you. The season's first snow, not to mention the ski industry in the Northeast and New England. Reporter John Maroney has more from Massachusetts.
It's a lot of powder, bunch of fun jumps. It's awesome.
Winter's back at Wachusett Mountain. They're praying for snow and making it as much as possible.
It's amazing how often we get asked if we're making snow when it's 40 or 60. You know, you're making snow? No, it would be making rain.
In 1968, Ralph Crowley purchased the operation. His family still runs the place, including his daughter, Carolyn Crowley Stimson.
We are committed to making sure that we have the best equipment, the best snowmaking, and most of all, the best employees.
There are about a dozen Bay State ski areas. Keeping them viable is not easy.
You're going to see many of them close just because that's the nature of what happens when it becomes more costly to keep things going.
Anjali Ball is an associate professor at Babson. She says diversification is important for the entire ski industry.
A lot of our companies that we've been seeing in New England have been investing in things like ziplining and other things like that.
The business is costly and climate change makes things more difficult. But technology is helping, especially when it comes to making snow.
This year, with the cold temps that we've got coming for the next couple weeks, we'll put down so much base that we'll make it right through till April.
Yeah, hopefully we get a lot more snow this year, and it's more just like powder up here and up north.
All the predictions point to a snowy winter, and that's good news for the business of skiing and people who like to hit the slopes.
John Maroney reporting.
With Gary Liberatore.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And just about an hour ago, right up here on the hill, it was whiteout conditions. Now it looks like Cooperstown seeing the brunt, huh?
Yeah, it keeps heading more west, or excuse me, more east and south, and now some whiteouts down in the southern valleys. Let's take a look at a live view in Cooperstown right now. We missed a more picturesque scene there where there was snow blowing off the rooftops. Looked a lot more like a whiteout here, but either way, this was not snowing, say, 10, 15 minutes ago. So that goes to tell you just the rapidly changing conditions across the area. In fact, 31 degrees out in Cooperstown right now. In fact, much of the southern valleys seeing some of that snow band from that Arctic front moving in. Let's zoom in. So far, Oneonta has seen the less of the brunt of it, but now Oneonta, basically all of the 88 corridor from Milford south is under a lake effect, or excuse me, a squall warning as that snow squall moves its way south. So expect again that sudden whiteout condition possible as that band continues eastward. So we'll continue to follow the snow band over the next few minutes and for the next hour or so. The snow will end. This is not an all-day long event. We're not expecting a whole lot of accumulations, but either way, look at the difference here. We are going to be plunging below zero tonight with that Arctic front. We'll have a look at how cold we get with those wind chills, plus any snowfall potential following today. The details straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And the blast of frigid air that we will be seeing tonight, has sent temperatures plunging already across the country. NBC's Shaquille Brewster has more this noon from Chicago.
Hi there. Well, it was a brutal start to the day here in Chicago where temperatures are barely expected to break 20 degrees, but it's not just what's on that thermometer. It's really about the wind chill. It feels like 5 degrees below zero here in Chicago. In Iowa this morning, we saw wind chills of 15 degrees below zero. And what's notable is that it is fairly early for us to be feeling temperatures this low, this early in the season. To that point, in Iowa, Des Moines schools has had a 2-hour delay this morning because of those cold temperatures. A suburban Chicago village canceling their tree lighting ceremony that was scheduled for later today because of these cold temperatures, these brutal temperatures that, by the way, are not just being felt here in the Midwest, but stretching all the way into the Northeast and not letting up. We're in for another cold night tonight and then another cold day tomorrow. Of course, all of this on top of the wicked weather that we saw earlier this week. Folks in the Northeast still digging out. Folks in Colorado still recovering from some winter weather that left about 600 flights delayed or canceled at Denver's International Airport. We're, of course, going to be watching any travel impacts that happen today. But, of course, the big story are these cold temperatures taking over much of the country. Back to you.
NBC Shaquille Brewster reporting from Chicago. Senior military.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. We continue to track a snow squall moving through parts of the area. We'll take a look at the current conditions right now on the bigger picture, seeing that cold fronts, or that Arctic front, I should say, move through the area. In the wake of it, we're going to see a polar plunge tonight and then the arrival of some quieter conditions by tomorrow. Let's take a look at the radar here. So we have those snow squall warnings in effect pretty much right along the I-88 line. Travel along I-88 is going to be pretty tricky with the next 15-20 minutes. But you notice to the north, this is our next round of snow. This is that secondary band I mentioned earlier this morning. And due to this strength of this one, I don't think it'll be as intense, but be prepared for a secondary line of some notable snow, whiteout conditions possibly. But again, we zoom in here, some heavy snow right along that line, basically right in New Berlin, heading along Route 23 toward Oneonta and out near Milford. We zoom out again, there's the outline of that front right now. Might have some lingering lake effect right here, impacting the Syracuse area and mainly south and west of Utica. But for the time being, this is how the snow is shaping up. In fact, we'll time it out here in the Skycast. There's that band I was mentioning. It's going to move its way through Utica between 12:30 and 2:30. We're looking at the latest data over the past couple of minutes here. By tonight, that lake effect snow begins to taper off south and west, and we cool down quickly. Overnight lows falling below zero. Wind chills likely falling even lower. We'll show that here shortly. Tomorrow it's chilly, highs barely reaching the low 20s with overall pretty quiet conditions. And then by Saturday, it's looking mostly quiet. A few flurries. We have some lake effect that begins to sweep its way south, but for the most part, it falls apart when it reaches our area. So when it comes to temperatures, or at least wind chills tonight, here's what we mean. When we mean cold, we definitely mean cold. We're looking at negative double digits in parts of our area. So again, just make sure you dress warmly tomorrow morning heading out to work or heading out to the bus stop. And in terms of additional accumulation today, here's just a quick view of the expected snow. And for the most part, not a whole lot, 1 to 2 inches in the yellows, in the white zones, and then 2 to 4 inches in that light blue area. Again, mainly south of Syracuse and in Madison County. So that's our thoughts on the latest snowfall forecast. Your 7-day forecast, again, some lingering snow showers on Saturday. We dry up again on Sunday, but we have some overnight lows below zero again Sunday night and Monday night. Monday high 17, so we got some pretty cold temperatures moving in, Gary, over the next few days. So welcome to winter, even though it's not winter yet officially.
Yeah, that wasn't an error. 22 below with the wind chill tomorrow.
Yeah, not an error. It's going to be very cold tomorrow morning.
Oh boy. Eric, thank you. Well, a state comptroller report shows storms than in years past. This includes tornadoes and heavy snowstorms. Oneida County alone ranks 9th in the state for weather damage, with more than 1,300 events recorded between 1996 and 2024. The report highlights the need for stronger protections, and State Senator Joe Griffo says the state must take action before another disaster strikes the Mohawk Valley.
This is a priority that we should be looking at, and I know we could find the resources and the revenue, and we could either reprioritize what we're already doing to reallocate, or if we have to redirect, we could do that, or take it even out of reserve if we needed to.
A bill has been introduced in both the Senate and Assembly and is currently in committee. Lawmakers say it would provide critical support for communities after severe weather hits. Coming up, the Trump administration has released video of the first strike were then killed. Now the calls for that second video to be released are getting louder. And welcome back. Today is an alert day, and you have a time lapse to show us, right?
Yeah, here's a time lapse of the whiteout that I freeze framed right here in downtown Utica. And the definition, I guess you call whiteout, you know, sudden, reduced conditions of visibility, and the roadways, you can see here, it got pretty snowy very quick. Yeah, even up here in the hills. Take a look right here. There's that freeze frame, and let's continue on because, again, before you know it, the snow ends, the road improves. It's a story of these snow squalls. And the matter of fact, following these snow squalls today, well, we've got a cool down, potentially putting a nearly 100-year-old record in jeopardy. -4 was set back in 1926, and we had the potential of breaking it tonight. With overnight lows set to fall, likely colder than that, maybe at -5, even colder than single-digit temperatures, at least with those wind chills moving in too. Downtown Cooperstown, the wind has ended a little bit so far today. It has cooled down from the low 30s already in the upper 20s, and heavy snow moving through the I-88 corridor. Matter of fact, I'm going to go behind the scenes here. I want to see if Oneonta currently has a scene of that snowfall, because this is heading right through Oneonta right now. And let's see. Yeah, well, you got a little bit of visibility here. I have some snow moving through sections of the city here, but again, over the next few hours, we have another round of snow to track. Then it'll begin to end, and we'll, of course, have the latest details on those wind chills tonight and what follows heading into the weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Getting your exercise in over there.
Yeah, a little shot.
Eric, thanks. Well,
the WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good afternoon. We are still in alert mode for the next few hours as we're still tracking a few sudden snow squalls passing through the area. Again, a recap of what's going on. An Arctic front moving in, pushing a cold front through the area, and that, of course, is forcing heavy snow along some of these lines here. But let's dive into, first off, road conditions. Pretty bad up near North Syracuse. An accident reported with a road closure over there. And some slowdowns in parts of central New York here, too. But to the Oneonta camera we go, to the far distance. There's that whiteout. It's now exiting the Oneonta area right now. The temperatures also have started to fall. You can see that on the radar scans right down there. Let's zoom in. Now it's entering Delaware County, exiting Otsego County. But we were mentioning the arrival of a secondary wave or a secondary snow squall, and here it is. Heavy snow starting to form, pushing through parts of Rome, south of the Mohawk Valley. In fact, probably New Hartford, Chadwicks, Sequoit. Those areas in northern Madison and southern Oneida are going to get slammed pretty hard with that brief round of snow as that front moves through. Now, they got that cold air mass. Basically, this front's going to start flattening, and it's going to start shifting its way south, so areas here are going to get blasted with that Arctic air as we head into tonight. Well, how cold will we get? Let's see here. That cold front begins to, again, flatten, as I mentioned, staying as lake effect briefly, and then it falls apart. Lake effect ends, and we see that polar plunge tonight, down below zero in a lot of spots. Our forecast low is -5. Our record low for this time of year is -4. So if we hit that, we will likely hit that record set back again nearly 100 years ago. Tomorrow is not nearly that warm. We're in the teens, the low 20s. A dry day for your Friday, though, so no travel impacts are expected to wrap up the work week. Following that, we're going to see the arrival of some lake effect to our northwest Saturday, but keep in mind, a lot of this will take place outside of our area for much of the day. By the time it begins to arrive overnight, that snow band really begins to fall apart. And so when it comes to any impacts Saturday too, so far doesn't really look to be that high. Wind chills tomorrow morning. Here is the reason we're going to continue that alert mode through the overnight hours tonight, because it is going to be very cold Arctic temperatures, or at least Arctic wind chills, double digits below zero tonight. So you're going to want to make sure you're bundled up heading out tomorrow with this cold of wind chills. You're going to get cold very quick. Lastly, to recap the additional snowfall we're expecting, not a whole lot here. Some higher totals here where that lake effect persists south of Syracuse and in Madison County. But besides that, maybe trace to 2 inches for the rest of the area from now until the end of the day. 7-day forecast. Weekend, not looking too impactful. So if you have any plans this weekend, I don't think you should have any worries about that. But then by Monday, we're cooling down into the teens once more. Overnight lows below zero, so it's definitely a cold and snowy start to December. Maybe a sign of what's to come this season, Gary. Who knows?
Man, if it's going to be cold, why not break a 100-year-old record at it, right?
That's right. Well, might as well do it in the process.
We'll find out tomorrow morning. Eric, thanks. The Olympic Flame for the up.
With Kristen Copeland and Jason Palace.
A squall-filled day and freezing temperatures to come.
It is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking what we can expect in the Weather Center. You know, I wore red on purpose.
Yeah, we're talking about cold temperatures heading into the rest of tonight. The squalls are done for the most part. The things that we were most concerned about have now pushed to the south with the whiteouts and poor visibility, and it made for a mess today. Traveling was pretty tough. Those squalls will continue to move out of our area, and what's behind is some of the really cold weather. We're looking at temperatures that'll likely fall below zero as we head into tonight, and with the wind, it's going to feel even colder than that. And again, a closer look, still seeing some snow showers and some bursts of snow along the I-88 corridor out towards Milford and Morris. But again, the snow kind of coming to an end across a good portion of the area. Partly cloudy, 19 degrees. The evening commute's looking a lot better compared to what we were dealing with earlier today. And we're looking at windy and cold conditions this evening. Temperatures will be in the teens, and it gets very cold tonight. In fact, it could be record-breaking cold. I've got to look at that along with some warmer weather for the weekend coming up. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. Continuing coverage on the Caitlin.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Snow squalls are now moving to the south. The weather this evening looks better for travel, but if you're heading out, it is pretty cold out there, and you definitely need to layer up. This is going to feel like a shock to the system. It's not unprecedented, but it is unprecedented for this time of the year. It's pretty early to get this cold. Live look in downtown Utica. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Bands of snow continue to push south. Bursts of snow in the southern part of Otsego County, Chenango County, and into Madison County. But the worst of this is done for the day as Arctic air continues to move in from the north. And I mentioned that this is unprecedented because I think we're going to break the record low. It's pretty hard to do in early December, especially a record that goes back to 1926. A 99-year-old record could fall tomorrow if we get down to 5 below zero, which, again, it does look like that could be the case. And again, some pretty cold temperatures. With the wind chill, it'll feel closer to 10 to 15 below in Utica. And with a reminder of that, time to bring the pets indoors tonight and make sure that they're not out for long. Again, the wind chills will be about 10 to 20 below zero. Reminder, you can always get weather information on the go by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. This app was very active today. If you had it, you were getting a lot of notifications from snow squall warnings that were issued by the National Weather Service. And not only does it alert you for your location, but also nearby spots as well, which can be helpful to give you a heads up as the snow moves through. Temperatures are very cold tonight. Inlet 11, Dulles-ville 18, Little Falls 20. Across the southern valleys, Sherburne 20, Cooperstown 17, Oneonta 16. A frigid start to Friday. Temperatures will be near or below zero. And it stays cold throughout the day. Temperatures in the low 20s, wind chills in the teens. And we've got this Arctic blast dropping in from the north. It doesn't last long. This is about a 24-hour thing before winds turn back into the west, and it brings in some warmer, I should say, more typical conditions to central New York by the weekend. Tonight, overnight lows drop below zero. Looking at partly to mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Temperatures climb into the upper teens to low 20s. Again, it's going to feel cold throughout the day, but it is dry. The weather remains dry Friday night. Clouds return. Saturday looks mostly cloudy. A few light snow showers are possible, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures do warm up with highs close to 30. Frigid tonight, low temperature of 5 below zero. Tomorrow, partly sunny, cold. Highs in the low 20s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A few light snow showers and flurries this weekend. More of a steadier widespread snow Sunday night that we'll be tracking, but that does look relatively light. It is cold Monday, partly sunny, 17 for the high. We're probably below zero again Monday night, and then some snow chances. Temperatures in the 20s and low 30s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Kristen is not happy.
No, it came too fast.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way.
Bill, thank you.
The bitter cold is blowing in, and it means cars will be taking a beating.
Rapidly changing weather today. White out here, clear there. And that's not the only headline.
Temperatures are dropping. Let's get you right back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis tracking it all tonight.
Yes, that's right. This is all caused by an Arctic front that's moving across central New York. The winds have aligned across the lakes, producing some enhancement, and we're getting some snow squalls that will continue. Right now, Madison County, southern Oneida, or I should say southern Otsego County and Shenango County are seeing some snow. And these will continue to drift out of our area. And what is drifting in? The cold. We are talking about some very cold temperatures here over the next couple of days. They'll fall below zero tonight. With the wind chill, it's going to feel like 10 to 20 below zero. Friday, we're looking at highs in the low 20s, but it's going to feel like teens most of the day. We get some relief over the weekend with temperatures close to 30 Saturday and Sunday, and then it gets cold again. Heading into early next week, a high of only 17 on Monday. Best to skip the dog walk tonight or make it really short. In fact, you want to make sure your pets are not outside in these elements as much as you can. Temperatures will be in the teens this evening. We're looking at dry conditions for most of central New York. Tonight's featured dog is Riggy from Deerfield. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. The governor is nominated.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking some snow squalls that continue to move to the south. The last place that they're affecting in our area is Oneonta, temperature of 16 degrees. And you can see those snow showers are becoming lighter compared to what we saw earlier. Again, those bands continue to drop south, and the weather is going to remain very cold tonight. But again, if you are traveling south of the Mohawk Valley, roads are still quite snow covered. There was a squall that moved through the southern part of Otsego County within the last hour. And again, things are going to be clearing out tonight. In fact, we should be able to see the full moon. It's a super moon. It's called the cold moon. Self-explanatory, right? This is the name of the full moon in December because of the extended darkness and sharp change in the weather. It's out there tonight. Skies are going to gradually clear out from north to south, so hopefully we'll be able to catch a glimpse of that. It is going to be a very cold night tonight. In fact, I think the record low is in jeopardy here, and it is an old one. 1926, 4 below zero, calling for a low temperature of 5 below. But it's very tough to get these overnight lows correct because it all depends on wind. If the wind continues tonight and doesn't settle down, we'll actually be warmer. The wind becomes calm, temperatures tend to free fall. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to give a shout out to Conkling Elementary School in Utica. I got a chance to visit the 3rd and 4th grade classes here. We got a chance to talk about math and meteorology. So this is the first group, and here's the other side of the room. They had a lot of questions about tornadoes, so very interesting questions about tornadoes, and when the last time Utica had one, 2011, believe it or not. By the way, you can get weather information on the go by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. By the way, this was very active today. If you have the app, you would have gotten a lot of notifications with those snow squall warnings that came through earlier today. Bitterly cold temperatures. The wind chill bottoms out about 15 below tonight, and it stays low tomorrow. Wind chills will be in the teens throughout the afternoon. So again, just dress nice and warm. Kind of a shock to the system here with getting this cold weather so early. Clinton, 16 degrees. Whitesboro, 18. Barneveld, 14. 7 in Inlet. Old Forge, 8. Alder Creek, 13. Westford, 17. Worcester, 19. Cooperstown, 15. And Helen and Cassville with 16. Tracking, again, those bands of snow today with that cold front rolling through. We do get a chance to dry out tonight and tomorrow, but again, it's going to be frigid. Overnight lows will be below 0. Tomorrow, back to sunshine, but not all that warm. We're going to be struggling just to get out of the teens throughout the day. It's going to feel below that in the teens with the wind chill. We do stay dry Friday night. We'll look at clouds here as we head into Saturday, and looks generally dry Saturday. A few light snow showers to the north. Temperatures warm up into the upper 20s to low 30s. Frigid tonight, 5 below 0. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 23. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. 31 Saturday, snow showers. Widespread snow late Sunday, 28. Frigid Monday, 17. Light snow chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be right back.
And Jason Palace.
Thanks for joining us. The snow squalls that plagued the area for most of the day, well, they are behind us.
Yeah, now we usher in the frigid temperatures. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. He's tracking it in the Weather Center.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild morning and early afternoon as those squalls rolled through. A huge drop in visibility. The winds have picked up and it's getting much colder out there. But again, for tonight, a lot of these squalls have passed to the south, and there won't be any additional issues with these for the rest of the day. Or the evening, I should say. But again, looking to the south, again, a couple of lingering snow showers in southern Otsego County. Temperatures are cooling off rapidly. We're 17 degrees. It already feels like 0, that northwest wind at 21 miles an hour. The wind is going to be sticking around this evening. Temperatures will continue to fall. Bundle up. It is going to be a frigid night. In fact, a 99-year-old record low could be broken tonight. We're going to take a look at that along with some warmer weather for the weekend. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Continuing coverage on the Caitlin Connolly legal proceedings. A request to have the case heard was last night, but tonight, an event closer to home.
News Channel 2's Nolan Hyman live in West Utica for the festivities.
Good evening, Jason and Kristen. I'm here at the West Utica's 3rd annual Christmas tree lighting. As you can see behind me, people are already gathered here, sharing hot chocolate, just having a good time, ready to kick off the holiday season. I'm told that the big man himself, Santa Claus, will be coming down this street. We're on Coop Ave in O'Brien, and Santa's going to come down. They're going to light the tree, so everybody's pretty excited about waiting to see that tree glow up and kick off that holiday season. And also, there's still time to come out for the festivities. They have toys that they're giving away. Lots of things happening here. Just a good time. The neighborhood just joining together just to celebrate the holiday season. So once that tree is lit, it's definitely going to make the very cold weather worth it. So, Jason and Kristen, back to you.
Nolan, thank you. Live in West Utica, the mom and me and the producer and me feels really bad that Nolan is out there.
Poor guy.
Freezing.
He's walking away.
Sorry, Nolan.
Go warm up, Nolan.
While we're in the holiday spirit, please help us stuff the studio.
By the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
It's getting really cold tonight. Downright frigid by tomorrow morning. Live look in downtown Utica. The snow squalls have passed out of our area. The weather is easier to get around. It will stay dry tonight, but again, it is going to be a very cold night to be out and about. Many of us picked up 1 to 3 inches of snowfall today, and those squalls came in fast and furious. They are now located generally to the south, and they have weakened a lot compared to earlier today. So if you're traveling south of the Mohawk Valley, some snow showers are lingering around, but it's not quite as intense as what we saw earlier today. A record low that is 99 years old is in jeopardy tonight, 4 below 0. We're calling for a 5 below 0, so it's going to be a really close call here. That record goes back to 1926. We have a chance of seeing the moon tonight. It's a full supermoon, closer to Earth in its orbit. It's called the cold moon for obvious reasons. That's the name of the cold moon, the moon in December, for the long nights and very noticeable change in temperature. And again, it is out there tonight. You should have a pretty good view here as skies clear out. Wanted to give a shout out to the young ones today. I got a chance to visit Conkling Elementary School and talk to them about weather and math and how math works into meteorology. There's the first group, and here's the second side of the room. Hopefully I got them all in. And again, it was really fun to get down there and do that. Also an announcement, Dave Delachaise, a former WKTV news anchor, along with myself, will be at the Barnes & Noble in New Hartford tomorrow evening. I'm going to run out of here after the broadcast to read the Polar Express to the young ones. That's an annual tradition that we've been doing for years. And if you have young ones, it's a fun way to kick off the holiday season. We hope to see you there. Also, a quick note, if you have our Storm Tracker 2 weather app, it was going off today. A lot of notifications from all those snow squalls coming in. And now we're going to be dealing with the cold weather. Single digits to below zero tomorrow morning. It's going to be cold tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures in the low 20s. Our sky watchers checking in. Temperatures are falling quickly. Whitesboro 18, Barneveld 14, Micah New Hartford 19, Helen and Cassville 16, single digits, Old Forge and Inlet, Cooperstown 15, Worcester with 19. Snow showers continue to move out. Cold weather is moving in. Again, we're going to be below zero tonight with clearing skies. Tomorrow looks like a dry day, partly sunny, but again, it's very cold. Temperatures in the teens through the afternoon, barely making it to 20 here in the Mohawk Valley. We'll stay dry heading into tomorrow night. Clouds will thicken up for Saturday. Just a few light snow showers here if you're doing any holiday shopping. Don't expect any big issues weather-wise over the weekend. Frigid tonight, low of 5 below zero. Tomorrow, partly sunny, temperatures in the low 20s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, some light snow chances Saturday and Sunday. Not enough to really slow you down if you're heading out. Monday, rather, is going to be another frigid day. And then more snow chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
He throws the word frigid around like it's not that big a deal.
We saw Nolan. It's bad.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Phil. Still to come on News Channel 2.
The news with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get to all those stories in just a moment. First, though, the mercury is dropping. Our first expected below zero overnight of this winter season. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis joins us now. Could we break a record, Bill?
We could. We're sitting at 6 degrees now. It's going to be pretty close. Yeah, it's certainly one for the record books. At least it's within sight. I always like to say it's possible because you never know with these things. Clear skies. Current temperature of 6. The record is 4 below zero. So we're only 10 degrees away from this. We have the rest of the night to go. And that record, by the way, goes back to 1926. So it's 99 years old. We have at least a chance. We're calling for an overnight low of 5 below zero, so we'll see if that works out. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The snow that we had earlier today has come to an end. We did pick up over 2 inches in the city of Utica. Tonight, overnight lows fall into the below zero. Again, calling for a low of 5 below zero, frigid. That's the air temperature, the wind chill 10 to 20 below by tomorrow morning. Dress nice and warm. We are tracking some warmer weather along with our next chance of snow. We'll look at the forecast coming up. Chase, back to you.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It is a cold night. It hits you right in the face when you walk outdoors. We are looking at dry weather. It is easier to get around tonight than it was earlier today when we had those snow squalls. But those are a thing of the past, at least for now. We're looking at dry conditions out there. Clear skies. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Nice view of the full moon. This was taken earlier this evening in Frankfurt by Abby Bennett. Tonight's full moon is called the cold moon. And we are fortunate enough to be able to see it tonight with clear skies in place. This is also a supermoon, which means the moon's a little bit closer to Earth's in its orbit when it becomes full. A reminder, It's time to bring the pets inside. Don't leave them outside tonight. Wind chills are going to be 10 to 20 below zero. Limit their time outside too, and be mindful of that over the next 24 hours. And of course, we'll be reminding you of this specifically on the really cold days throughout the winter. You can get our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. If you don't already have it, this is very helpful. You'll get a lot of notifications. You know, mine was going off a lot today with all those snow squall warnings. Very helpful if you're driving too. It gives you a heads up that they're coming. With those snow squalls, Utica picked up 2.2 inches of snow. We continue to run way above average, more than a foot above average for today's date. We typically have about 10 inches. We're, again, easily double that. And I know we have a long way to go this winter, but we are starting out fast and furious. And it's not just the snow, but it's also the high levels of cold. Tomorrow morning, we're going to feel like below zero. And we do climb to near 20 in the afternoon, but it's going to feel like teens throughout the majority of the day. Bigger picture shows high pressure is taking over, and it's allowing for our weather to dry out and cool down considerably as the weather comes from the Arctic. Tonight, overnight lows drop below zero. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning. It's a dry day, but it's a cold day. Temperatures climb into the upper teens to low 20s. Tomorrow night, the weather remains dry. Clouds will be thickening up. The next weather system approaches on Saturday. Brings just a few very light snow showers around. Not a big deal for the holiday shoppers. Temperatures climb to near 30. 5 below zero tonight, frigid. Wind chills 10 to 20 below. Partly sunny tomorrow, cold, but not as cold as tonight. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A few light snow showers here Saturday. Widespread light snow Sunday, 28. Monday, 17, partly sunny, another cold day, and then some snow chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Roads were dicey today. Dicey on Tuesday, too. I want you to see this video. Take a look at this. It's from Tuesday, and one of the state DOT plow trucks involved in a crash. Look at this. Right, I mean, the truck had stopped, but the car went right into it. This is in town of Sherburne on Route 80. Nobody was hurt, but this could have been a lot worse. Just a reminder, slow down, drive for the conditions, and give yourself extra time. The state is asking you to help them keep yourself and them safe during this winter season. Coming up next, the Olympic flame for the Milan Cortina Winter Games.
News with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get to all those stories in just a moment. But first, the mercury. I don't know if you know this. It's dropping outside. We're expecting our first below zero overnight of the winter season. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis joins us now. We could even break a record tonight, right?
Yes, we very well could. We're sitting at 4 degrees right now, and it's continuing to drop. This is at Griffiths and Rome, clear skies. It feels like 4. The winds have gone calm. So it's going to help temperatures free fall. I think we're going to get pretty close to the record. Going for an overnight low of 5 below. The record is 4 below, so we're on pace to break that. We'll see if we do tomorrow morning. This record, by the way, is an old one. 1926, 99 years. Is the last time it's been this cold here in central New York. And again, as we look at our bigger picture, looks like the clicker's not working here. It's looking pretty clear out there tonight. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Looking at an overnight low of 5, frigid conditions overnight. We are tracking some warmer weather, though, and a nice break in the snow, at least for now. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
It certainly was a festive night in West Utica as the Neighborhood Association held their 3rd annual tree lighting ceremony. Despite the cold, people from the neighborhood came together to join in the holiday spirit. Kids anxiously awaited the arrival of Santa Claus, who arrived by fire truck. It was a fun night for everyone, and the community got to huddle around the fire as they waited for the big moment.
Just to give people in West Utica an opportunity to come out as a community and enjoy the tree lighting. We give out toys. We had a generous donation this year, and we have hot chocolate, we're doing s'mores, and those type of things. So it just brings everybody together in the cold.
S'mores, hot chocolate, and a glowing Christmas tree. Great way to celebrate the holiday season. And while you're in the holiday spirit, please help us stop.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Clear skies, and it is a cold night across central New York. Many places have already dropped into the single digits. Some places to the north have already fallen below zero. This is a live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Beautiful shot of the full moon taken today by Abby Bennett. The moon turned full today, and it's called the cold moon for obvious reasons. A reminder, when it's this cold, when temperatures fall into the single digits to below zero, that you want to make sure your pets are inside. Bring your pets indoors tonight. Wind chills are going to be about 10 to 20 below zero. And again, as we're looking at local temperatures, you can see Otter Lake 7 below zero, Inlet 3 below zero, Dolgeville 3 below zero. Even across the southern valleys, it is cold. Cooperstown 7, Oneonta with a temperature of 9. By the way, if you have the Storm Tracker 2 weather app, there were a lot of notifications today with all those snow squalls that came through. You can always download our app if you don't have it. It's a great way to get notified when dangerous weather's on the way. With today's snow, we picked up 2.2 inches for the day and for the season. We're over 25 inches. We are running way above average, over 15 inches above average for today's date. It has been, the winter has been off to a fast and furious start. Tomorrow is going to be a cold day. It'll be dry, but temperatures will only be near 20 degrees. Wind chills will be in the teens throughout the afternoon. Bigger picture shows high pressure coming in from the north, clearing us out and bringing us dry weather. But again, it's going to be cold tonight, down below zero. Temperatures start out in the single digits tomorrow morning. We'll see partly sunny skies, temperatures near 20 degrees. Tomorrow night, clouds start to thicken up as the next weather system approaches, so it won't be quite as cold tomorrow night. We'll be down to the teens. And then on Saturday, just a few light snow showers, warmer too, temperatures near 30 degrees. The snow looks very, very light, so if you have any holiday shopping, I don't think this is going to slow you down. We do have the chance for some light snow heading into late Sunday. Frigid tonight, low of 5 below zero. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 23. Feeling like the teens throughout the day. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Light snow showers over the weekend. Saturday, on and off in the afternoon. Widespread snow late Sunday. Again, not a big deal. It's cold Monday, 17 for the high, and then more snow chances heading into next week.
At least it warms up a little.
Yes, we get a little bit of a break.
All right, thank you, Bill. By the way, did you see this? Take a look. This is video from Tuesday, one of the state DOT plow trucks involved in a crash. It's on Route 80 in the town of Sherburne. Fortunately, nobody was injured, but could have been much different. A reminder to slow down, drive for the conditions, give yourself extra time. State is asking you to help keep them and yourself safe by taking